What's up, levelers? You're tuned in to another episode of High Level Chronicles, the podcast where we take gaming, cannabis, and entertainment to the next level. I'm your host, Chris, and as always, I'm joined by the one and only Brian. What's up, bro? What's up with you, man? How's your week been going on?
It's been busy. Busy?
Busy? Busy. So, let me tell you, I just want to tell you a little quick story, man. You might, the other night, we were playing, I don't remember what, we were playing some Rebirth. I'm pretty sure maybe we weren't even, no, it wasn't. You weren't even playing that night. It was just the other night. We jumped in and like you said, you were coming, like, I don't know, we were in Discord. I was waiting on your ass, but you just never, never came. Either way, that night, let me tell you, bro, I was high as hell that night. Right. And while I'm sitting there playing, waiting on you, I'm jumping in solos and this, and I'm looking up at the TV and I'm like, why the fuck is the channel not changing? And I'm like, I'm trying to change the channel and it's not changing. So I'm back to playing the game. I'm playing the game and I'm like, trying to change the channel again. Like, it ain't moving. What's going on here? Well, the whole time I was trying to change it with my game controller. Like, I'm trying to figure out why it ain't moving on the screen up there. So just a
good one.
little story I had there. But today, man, so speaking of gaming and my gaming here, today we're going to give our own opinions on what we think are the greatest video games of all time. So we're taking a trip down memory lane to celebrate the games that have shaped the industry, influenced generations, and stood the test of time, right? But before we blaze that trail, it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Leveled Up. Levelers, tell us what you're leveling up on this week, whether it's a new strain you're blazing or a game that's got you glued to the screen. Brian, what are the levelers saying out there this week? What's going on?
What are the levelers saying this week? Let's see here. Greg J says, I've been leveling up on some green crack while revisiting the world of Skyrim. Can't get enough of those dragon shouts.
I don't play Skyrim, so I'm not.
I have my Skyrim tattoo right there.
So what's dragon shouts?
The thing, the magic that you have.
You're making motions, but if our listeners aren't watching on YouTube, they ain't fucking seeing what you're doing. But okay, let's move on. I got it. I got you. I don't want you to do that. Let's just go on. What else we got?
Jammy Jim 38 said, I've been puffing on some Granddaddy Purple lately, putting me in a nice relaxed state for catching up on Sugar on Apple TV. That show is a wild trip. Not heard of that one.
Sugar. What is Sugar? I haven't heard of that one either. I like some Apple TV stuff. I don't have Apple TV right now.
I don't have Apple, so.
I had Apple TV when I think we talked about it in one of the way back episodes, but Severance. Severance was a really good show. It's on Apple. I'm hoping for the new one about that. But I have to look Sugar up. It might be something. I wonder who plays it.
I don't have anything on Apple, so. Let's see what another at Indica Flower 88 says. I've been blasting through some fast-paced rounds of Rocket League, fueled by some Skywalker OG. There's just something about that adrenaline rush combined with a good indica that hits different.
Man, I used to play the hell out of Rocket League. I love Skywalker OG. I used to play the hell out of Rocket League too. Did you ever get into Rocket League?
Nah, dude, I never played Rocket League.
Did you never play it, or you just never got into it?
I think I played maybe 3 games of it.
Wow, dude, I still played it. Just up until I switched to PC because it was part of...
It wasn't for me, man. It wasn't for me.
It gets boring pretty quick to me, but it's one of those, like, if you just want to like, if we're just high as hell, just want to go have some fun, you know what I mean? Not really care.
Yeah.
It's like, that to me is what it is.
That's Forza for me. I just hop on Forza and build a stupid car.
I'll tell you, though, bro.
I can make it.
As for me, I've been chiefing on the rest of this watermelon gelato. That smooth, fruity, packing that indica body high. Been running some Dead by Daylight. Also running the Unleashed storyline in WWE 2K24.
Okay.
Also just finished up the Fallout series. Man, that show's fucking great. I thought everything everything from the visuals, the writing, that ending. Man, I can't wait for the next season.
I gotta finish watching that.
What about you, bro? What have you been leveling up on this week?
What have I been leveling up on? I got some Cherry AK-47 this week, and some Gary Payton dabs with some I guess right here. Peanut butter breath and lemon meringue. It's a hybrid.
Okay.
Very, very, very good dab. Other than that, man, just been working and gaming a little bit, playing some Call of Duty again, as always. Oh, tried Gray Zone Warfare.
Oh yeah, forgot. Yeah, forgot all
That
about that one.
we'll see how
I'll
that.
tell you why I forgot. Because I already
Look,
got a
man,
refund.
we'll see how
I
it
already
goes.
got a refund.
Did you get a refund?
I already got a refund. I couldn't handle it. I tried a couple days in a row, and I just couldn't. I was like, dude, I'm not. When I can get something else playable, I'll worry about this if it actually ever gets to the point that they release it.
I should probably get a refund on mine too, because
I don't know, man.
rough,
It was rough.
Man. It's rough.
I thought
man.
it would be better than it was. It, being an early release.
Yeah, same.
I'll say it has potential. It definitely has potential in the game. It's just it's so glitchy, and the frames are it's just
I had very high hope for that game.
It's early PUBG. What is that? Yeah. DayZ or early PUBG H1Z1, dude. Oh my gosh, that's what it reminded me of with the frames, the graphics.
Yeah.
Like you could tell that they really have potential, but it's not smooth at all. The gameplay is not smooth.
It's the server. It's 100% the server. They need to fix the server. Because like when the graphics are loaded in, it looks great.
Yeah, but the minute you move, it changes.
Yes.
So
we'll see that.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I don't know. I got the refund. I figured I'll use it and try something else out. Maybe it's coming up. I thought maybe they'd have a sale for May the 4th. Be with you. Coming up, or actually that was last Saturday, but they didn't have any, so.
May the 4th was today. Well, yeah. Last Saturday.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
I got you now.
You know what? Now it's time to load up our inventory, head into our main quest for the day. Our top 10 video game picks of all time. Brian and I went back and forth drafting our list while, I think we'll see. We may have some disagreements. We'll see. We haven't revealed our list to each other, but we kind of shot some ideas to kind of get a feel for what we were looking at. But I think we constructed a pretty solid ranking. Video games, they've come a long way since the early days of Pong and Pac-Man. They've evolved into a massive entertainment and artistic medium, with the best games telling captivating stories, creating vast open worlds to explore, and providing just pure adrenaline pumping fun, right? So me, man, I had to make some tough cuts, but I'm confident. I'm confident that my 10 games deserve recognition as the absolute pinnacle of the gaming world, at least in my obviously very credible opinion. But before we get into our list, let's just say let's talk about what makes a game truly legendary. So a legendary game isn't just about fancy graphics or complex mechanics. It's about, this is my opinion, it's about the impact it has on players, the industry, whether it's pushing the boundaries of storytelling, revolutionizing gameplay mechanics, or fostering, vibrant communities. These games can leave a lasting mark. So, Brian, let's start off with your list. What do you got in the number 10 spot?
In the number 10 spot. So this is something personal for me. This is a game that got me into gaming. So this is number 10, but it's Rampage World Tour.
Rampage World Tour.
Yes.
Okay.
Nintendo 64. That game was one of the first games that I was young, but it was one of the first games that I sat down with like my dad and was playing every night after school. As long as I did my homework and shit, me and dad were sitting down in the living room playing this game and just having a blast.
So I may be a little biased. I sort of, like I said, it's tough narrowing it down to just 10 entries, right? But there were a bunch of games that I had sort of that same feeling that just narrowly missed the cut, like OG Mario, not on my list. I'm going to tell you that now, but it was one of those that, I have those memories of. A couple others, I'll just tell you about the bat and missed my list. Well, let me just rip off the Band-Aid. I'll reveal my number 10 pick. Pac-Man.
Okay.
The classic arcade game from 1980. It not only pioneered the maze chase genre, but also became like a cultural phenomenon. It's simple, it's addictive. It captured the hearts of millions and cemented Pac-Man as like an icon of gaming. I mean, you can show it to anybody and everybody knows who Pac-Man is. Yeah. Even to this day, Pac-Man is one of the top played games in the arcade realm. So for me, Pac-Man's at my number 10 spot. So
okay.
That's what I got.
I can dig it though. I can dig it. Definitely a classic into the gaming realms. Let me just go ahead and throw out my number 9. It's gonna be Crash Bandicoot.
Okay. Crash Bandicoot. So the original?
Yeah, the first one. There's my mask right there. It's with me permanently. Got a spot in my heart, man. Everybody knows Crash too. Well, not everybody, but majority of people our age. You mentioned Crash Bandicoot, they all know. They've all played the game.
Or they at least recognize the name.
The characters, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty solid choice.
I like it. So mine, number 9. Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar's magnum opus of open world storytelling. It's incredibly detailed world. It's immersion. You can get into it. We've heard a few of our levelers talk about it. Compelling narrative in the character arcs, the gunplay, the combat. I mean, and it's had a cultural impact. I think I've mentioned it before in some other stuff, but that's my number 9. Sure, yeah. That's what I got for number 9.
All right.
What you got going on at 8?
Number 8 is gonna be a dinger, but I'm gonna have to go with World of Warcraft, man. World at Warcraft.
Okay. Wow.
Yet again, opened up into that role playing online. There was many more games ahead of them, but they really brought it to a different spectrum. And I mean, there's still people today that play that game religiously, and it's still making lots of money, and it's still a great freaking game. Their servers have never gotten any worse. It's just continuously gotten better. They're constantly pumping out new content for it, new raids, new characters, even still to this day. And it really,
I still know people that are addicted to it.
Like mint game.
I still know people that play it nonstop to this day.
I still have a World of Warcraft account. I don't play it much, but I have an account still.
Right. My number 8, Grand Theft Auto 5. Modern masterpiece in storytelling, another cultural phenomenon pushing boundaries with its open world gameplay and, its take on modern life. I'm hyped for the new one, so I'm excited to see. It's been a while, and they always take their time, but they're always good. So that's my number 8.
I can dig that too. Grand Theft Auto. I guess going into number 7 here, man, I'm gonna have to go with Counter-Strike.
Okay. Counter-Strike.
One of my first games into the world of pro gaming, I guess. I wasn't on a pro level, but that's what kind of introduced me into that esports teams and like the pro players and everything. For shooters, that's where I kind of like first started my adventure after that. And yet again, still a game that's played today. Still a game that has esports teams for it. It's still a game that's still advancing.
I like it. I like it. So I have to pay respect to some legendary classics that paved the way. Um, so let's hop in the time machine a minute. Rewind for my number 7, Tetris. Another simple yet addictive puzzle game that just transcended language and cultural barriers, becoming like a global phenomenon. It had that iconic, puzzle game and design, infinitely replayable and addictive, right? I mean, who hasn't played the shit out of it? I mean, if you were from that era, still to this day, people play it, but it just had a simple premise, I don't know, man. The perfect just pick up and play game. I mean, it actually was probably one of the first, on the Game Boy. I mean, so I think it's captivated people for decades, and I think everybody knows the music, so the music's iconic, the Tetris song.
Sure.
So it's a testament to the timeless appeal of just good old fashioned fun.
Thank you. All right. We go on number 6.
6, what you got?
Number 6, Pokemon.
What? Number
Pokemon.
6 for
Pokemon.
Okay.
Handheld gaming.
You're talking about the original,
yes,
like Pokemon Go or
no,
whatever they have now.
The original Pokemon. So
okay.
we're branching away from stationary consoles. Now you got these handheld Game Boys, handheld Game Boy Colors. You're in the back of the van on a road trip with your parents when you're a little kid. What you got in your hand? I had a Game Boy in my hand. And I played that sucker the whole entire road trip. It was, and or at least our generation, one of the big, and I guess still even too, because they're still putting out new ones for handheld consoles. But it was a jump in time away from having to sit at the house and play a game to being able to go travel with it.
Right on.
And I mean the nostalgic of it. Like I still play Pokemon, so
I dig it. I like it. My number 6, Super Mario Brothers 3. It's I think the pinnacle of 2D platforming. Level design, the secrets, vibrant visuals and music for its time. New power-ups and gameplay mechanics introduced during Super Mario Brothers 3. Co-op multiplayer was introduced in Super Mario Brothers 3, and I think it really defined Nintendo's creative vision. So, do that in at number 6. You got it 5.
Going into number 5. This was a hard one. The top of my list is hard, man.
Absolutely, I agree 100%. Like my 5 is like probably one of my. I'm not gonna give. I'm gonna let you say it's probably one of my favorite games still, but it's just not of all time. But
yeah,
okay.
I guess so. What I'm gonna put personally is number 5, and it's not a lot of people are not gonna agree with this. Borderlands, though, as you know, it's one of my favorite games of all times. It's not the number 1 spot for greatest games of all times in general, but one of my top favorite games.
Okay.
I think Gearbox, coming out.
I thought it would be higher up on your list, actually.
No, there's too many. There's too many other ones to pick from. But yeah, dude, Borderlands was a great game series. It really was. Gearbox knocked that one out of the fucking park with that game. Loved the characters. Loved all the cutscenes and the story to it.
I think a lot of people you either love it or you hate it. True. There's nothing to Borderlands, and if you love it, you understand. Yeah, it's another one of those like cult classic games that people enjoy.
It's just I don't know, dude. It's just such a solid game.
Well, my number 5, still one of my favorites that really got me into I don't want to say gaming, but just the camaraderie of gaming, I should say, is GoldenEye 007. It revolutionized the console first-person shooters, tight single-player campaign and objectives, split-screen multiplayer mayhem, endless replayability. You know what I mean? It's defined the FPS genre for a generation, and is it just me? Anybody out there, levelers, Brian, if you played it, were those facility matches like the most intense gaming sessions ever back in the day?
Yeah, I do.
I swear,
Do
more
agree,
controllers
man.
were spiked over a GoldenEye proximity mine kill than the entire
Mm.
lifespan of Call of Duty. Call of Duty rage
007 is a
quits
good one.
combined. I remember my buddy sailed a fucking controller across the room and cracked a window after I went full odd job camping on him. So, he threw that shit. It hit the window, cracked it, the controller broke.
It's awesome.
That's my 5.
Going into number 4, man. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, but Final Fantasy.
Which
And
one?
not any particular one. I'm gonna say just Final Fantasy as a whole.
I think 6. If I had to pick a Final Fantasy, 6 was one that really stood out.
6 was a good one, yeah. But it's just that turn-based fighter adventure, like yet again, they're still pumping out games today, So it's a good solid game. Graphics were freaking amazing the whole time too. Even back on PS1, those graphics were good.
Yep. I like it. My number 4, I'm sure this will be controversial to some, but whatever. BioShock. I think striking art and visual designs, intelligent fusion of gameplay and narrative, like moral choice system with consequences.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Memorable characters and plot twists, thoughtful social commentary beneath the surface. I mean, woo, what a game. BioShock, I mean, truly for me, a mind-bending experience. That's what I got, man. My BioShock number 4. I almost put it higher. My 3 and 4. I almost swapped, but my 3s I had to get my So what you got? We're coming into the big dogs now, man. This is top 3. So
yeah,
top 3. It was hard for me. Top 3 was really hard because, what you got, man?
Going into my number 3, man, is gonna be Zelda. Back to playing that thing on the Game Boy, to playing it on the Nintendos, to playing it on the rest of the consoles, and even playing it on the Switches, like the Switch and everything today, and to watch where the graphics has gone in this game, and to go back for that original like Zelda lullaby. If you know it, you know it. If you don't, you should listen to it. But that just like where it's gone from 8-bit to like what it is now, and the level of difficulty that the game brought to me as a child playing it, like it was a hard game, man. Some of those levels were tough. You had to work for that shit.
Yep. Absolutely.
Zelda's always, I mean, my Tribe Force is right there too. It was always gonna hold a spot in my heart on top right there.
I like it. My number 3 is Half-Life 2. The groundbreaking first-person shooter. Valve Corp's unmistakable masterpiece. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, if you own Steam, it's Steam, Valve Corp, same company. Mm-hmm. They pioneered modern first-person shooters with Half-Life 2 as well. I'm talking Half-Life 2 here. Astounding graphics and physics engine for, seamless cinematic presentation. I mean, it birthed an entire universe of games and mods with Half-Life 2 and a lasting influence. So that's my number 3 pick.
All right. Now we getting into the final 2 here. The final 2. We're gonna kick a newer age with these last 2 on my list, at least. So the number 2 spot, Fortnite. Hate all you want. Fortnite, what Fortnite has done for the gaming community, whether you be young or old, freaking amazing.
It doesn't surprise me it's on you. We've had a conversation on this podcast about Fortnite before and how revolutionary it was for It's
It
time.
is.
I like it.
A lot of people throw hate at Fortnite, but as being an original player of before it was even a battle royale. Like when I started playing the game, it was not a battle royale yet. It was in beta, and it was just save the world. Was the game mode, and then when it came into that battle royale, man, it overtook the field of all other battle royales, and has done amazing leaps in the gaming world and gaming community.
I agree. Got it. I like it. So my number 2, man, went into a little more mine compared to you. You had this on your list. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, a true masterpiece that redefined open world gaming, dude. Breath of the Wild raised the bar for exploration, immersion, player freedom. I almost had it in my number 1, but my number 1 holds dear to my heart. It's still my favorite game of all time. So I'm not, it might be given, but Zelda with the Breath of the Wild in particular, that open world, dude, the reinvention of the Zelda franchise. I mean, visuals, awards, right? Game of the Year awards. It had critical and commercial success. So a lasting legacy to me. So that's my number 2.
This number 1 spot, man, this was a tough one, dude. This was a real tough one. But my number 1 all-time best game, Halo. It's gonna sit up there at number 1.
Okay.
Freaking Halo, man. There was nothing better coming home, hopping in a lobby of Halo with your boys, and just having a fucking blast.
I like it. Halo. So Halo, I'll tell you, so we'll see. I had a bunch of games that just narrowly missed the cut, right? Mm-hmm. And Halo was one of them. Final Fantasy VI, which I had just mentioned earlier, and Call of Duty 4. They narrowly missed my list, but my number 1 is The Last of Us. I still get goosebumps thinking about the narrative payoffs in The Last of Us. It's Naughty Dog's crowning survival horror achievement. Harrowing, character-driven, post-apocalyptic story, right? I mean, unparalleled facial animation that it had during that, the cinematics, the gripping stealth and combat gameplay, a mixture of that, the flawless pacing and unrelenting tension, morally complex characters and themes, monster level of production values. It's now, it's in it, on TV, global success. That takes my number 1. It's still my favorite game that I've ever played. Played. The whole storyline of it.
I can dig it.
Got it.
Can we?
What you have something that narrowly missed yours, man?
Well, I would like to go back and see if we can put a number 11 in there that we could mutually agree on, possibly.
Okay.
For Call of Duty 4.
Okay.
Modern Warfare 1, original. That was actually the game that broke me into competitive esports gameplay. That was the first game that I got recognized in by an esports team. I got my first break into playing video games in a professional manner.
I like it.
I was very young and very dumb and got kicked off my teams, but that was my breakthrough for gaming.
I'll tell you what got me into multiplayer that I thought about putting on my list, but it's not the games of all time, but SOCOM is what got me into multiplayer, dude. PlayStation 2, that was the first real that, and then also another one I thought highly of was Rainbow Six Vegas.
Yes,
that one for the 360 just broke. I mean, that was just multiplayer. That just brought all multiplayer together for me, from SOCOM into that. I mean, so that was a couple more that missed my list just by watch. So you can tell in your list you went more with like your personal feelings towards the games. And my list, I went more like overall what I think set tones for different other game and genres and stuff like that. But we did agree on Zelda. Hey, you added 3, I added 2. Is that clear to see? Zelda's up there. I mean, it's a classic.
It is a classic. Another game that barely missed my list though was Gears of War.
Great game, dude. Love Gears of War. Doom also almost missed mine because I thought that was like a classic.
I was thinking BioShock too, so I'm glad you mentioned it, but I didn't put it on there.
At the time for BioShock, dude, it just that's what got me. It was like, dude, this is just like cinematic,
and just the storyline of that game too. Like I love the story to that game.
Absolutely,
it was just a great all around game. And another one that nearly missed my list was Fallout.
Okay, yeah, Fallout.
It's just there's so many games out there, man.
It was on there. I didn't put it in just because, like I said, I went more with what games like Half-Life 2. You know, that's just classic games that people forget about. Things people like don't think of. Like, man, that was gaming. Pac-Man. You know what I mean? Like Pac-Man was. You know, the arcade, everybody goes to this day. Kids are going to play Pac-Man. You know what I mean? So
for sure,
everybody knows what that is. Yeah, we might have to do. We have to do a game of like the 10 worst games we've ever played. I think that would be kind of fun.
I got some games.
You know, we could all say that. I think we all had some games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Watch out, Gray Zone. You're on there too.
Yeah, we got to. Let's give them some time to see. I mean, I've already got my refund. I ain't going back on that. That is what
I'm about
it is.
To see if I can get
that
mine.
Ship's fucking sailed.
Was it like 8 hours of gameplay?
I don't even know, dude. Whatever I
had. 8
hours. No, it don't matter. I think you can just request and say, tell them why you're requesting. I put, horrible gameplay mechanics. The frames per second or shit. Whatever.
They're probably like, yeah, everybody's returning this game.
A few hours later, I had my refund approved. But either way, that's going to wrap up our look at the greatest, most iconic video games of all time, in our opinion, personally. We covered a ton of ground from old school classics to modern day masterpieces, changing the game. It really drives home, man, just how much the gaming industry's evolved over the decades. Yet, those core things that make games special, right? Like fun gameplay, storytelling, creativity, they've remained constants in the gaming world. I mean, gaming's given us so many amazing shared experiences and legendary tales over the years, and I can't wait to see what new adventures await as games continue pushing these boundaries.
Me either, bro. Me either.
But, levelers, be sure to hit us up with your own personal top 10 lists. You know what I'm saying? What games would make your cut? Let us know online by hitting us up on your favorite app at I can't even talk. Maybe too high. HLC Podcast 420, or maybe that was my Southern West Virginia coming out. Or on our website, highlevelchronicles.com. Lots more dank content coming your way. We actually, hopefully, man, coming up here really soon, we might have a really awesome guest. I mean,
hopefully, man.
Probably our biggest. I mean, we've had a few, I want to say celebrity style, people that cook with celebrities. We've had good guests, but this guest has been. This guest I'm not going.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
With that, you already know what time it is, yo. Stay leveled up, levelers. We are out.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to High Level Chronicles. See you next time.
Thank you again for listening to High Level Chronicles. Please help us grow by leaving us a review wherever you listen to us at, whether it's Spotify, iTunes, Alexa. Your reviews will help our show grow and help us reach a broader audience. Also, we are always looking for new show sponsors, so please reach out if you're interested. You can hit us on our social media or email us info@highlevelchronicles.com. Thanks again for listening.